All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Sport webinar. Today's date is Saturday, July the 22nd, 2017. This is Saturday morning webinar. The title of today's webinar is 5 Easy to Remember and Profitable Trade Setups. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars we might have, our live trading room, or anything else should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we're going to get started. Now, as we get started here, I want to go over one thing just real quick because we talk about 5 trades that we like really well when we're trading, okay? And keep in mind, though, that you've got to know what direction that you're going to go first. That's one of the most important things that you need to do, because while you're trying to make 5 ticks, somebody else is going to make 40, okay? And then more than likely, you'll think there's a runner and you'll get stopped out. So does everybody pretty much look at their charts and realize the direction that they're heading? Super, super important. Okay, to give you an example, all right, let's just look at gold first. This is a trade that I actually showed yesterday in the room, but what I want to do is I want to show you how to see it, in real time, because it's really important. Okay, now what direction is obviously this trend in? I mean, it's pretty obvious. And if anybody misses it, see me after the class. Just teasing. See me after class. It's up, isn't it? Yeah. There's no question about it. So would you be wanting to short this thing? And you really wouldn't, would you? Now, we don't know where the prices are right this second. Let's see if we can figure out where they are. Well, actually, we do know where they are, at least where the last swing was. Let's look at Lightning 1 for the fun of it. There's about where the prices are right now. Okay? So definitely you would be looking for an uptrend on this one, right? Okay, so put that in the back of your mind. And by the way, we built these power meters and everything for you so that you can tell. See that power meter 3 and 4? That's telling you that's an uptrend. Okay, now keep in mind one thing just real quick, though, that I want to go over with Lightning, because everybody knows with Lightning, you basically have to have, basically a thrust, a retrace, and another thrust to get the Lightning started, right? Okay, so even watch these just in case, because for instance, if this was whipping around and you barely took this out and you barely took this out, then you've got to go down one more swing to make sure what your trend is. Okay, and that's pretty important. And then of course you got your support right across here even, right? So you really don't want to take that out on any kind of pullbacks. Okay, but this chart we're saying, okay, we're going to trade long on this chart, right? All right, let's look at this other one. Now this has been going up, but you double topped up here. So what's the overall trend on this one? I kind of gave you a hint there, didn't I? What's the direction of this one's trend? It's kind of sideways, isn't it? Basically more sideways, but isn't it actually also, if you kind of get some of this out of the way, you had a high, you had a low, you had the same high, you broke, you started stair-stepping down. You did break here and you got a little long more than likely if you do trade it that way. And then right now, basically what I do is I like to draw on my charts. And this is really important, because if you do draw on your charts, you're going to see that lots of times they're going to hit those lines that you draw on your charts. Okay, so this one, we're kind of looking like maybe this could go either way, but we got to look at it a little bit deeper. And let's look at the actual chart itself. And then I'm going to go over, at least we're going to get to more than likely 3 of the trades today, maybe even all 5 of them. Okay, but I want you to see, first off, every single day you look at your charts, you got to know what direction you're getting ready to go. Okay, so let's get this one off the screen. By the way, power meter says red, doesn't it? All right, let's get rid of this one. And we'll get rid of both of these. And bear with me 1 second. All right, so I've got the charts up. Now, this makes it even a little easier to see, doesn't it? Because our indicator pretty much tells you what this chart is looking like. Isn't gold still heading up? We've got a mid band that's blue. We've got mid band that's red on YM. We've got a red background. So that pretty much tells you you're looking for shorts, doesn't it? Now, what I like to do personally, and I did this yesterday when I was watching this particular trade, I got up about 6:15, I think, yesterday. So I basically started drawing on my charts because this is one of my five favorite trades right here. Okay, this is called a predictor trade, and it's also at the same time a kiss trade, because when they break down below support, like so, they're going to come back and they're going to kiss it. That's why one of my favorite trades is these predictor trades, kiss trades. Will it go all the way to mid-band? Well, we don't know, but when you draw on your charts, you can pretty much see you've got a swing here. They did break down below this little, see, little thrust, little retrace. They also broke down below here. So this is what I would do, is I would draw 2 lines on my chart, just like that. And this is what I call my sweet spot. This is one of my absolute favorite trades, okay? So we're ready for that trade, aren't we? All we've got to do is either turn on predictor, if we're a little bit more aggressive. We could turn on the power meter because it's green, and obviously if it goes red, we could take that trade. So we've diagnosed this chart and we're ready to go. Okay, now let's look at our gold chart. Let's go ahead and go full size. All right, I draw my lines on my swings. Got a swing here they've already checked. See it right there? They've already checked this swing several times, right? And let's go ahead and just draw here. It looks like I haven't really checked that, but you know, the support is right at 46.50, don't you think? That's just pretty much where support is. And predictor is saying right here. Okay, so now we've diagnosed this chart, haven't we? We could either take a trade if it breaks power meter to the upside, right? Or we could take the trade if it comes down and kisses predictor. All right. Now, does everybody that's here in the webinar tonight, do you realize that these retracement type trades are your absolute most profitable trades? Much, much better than breakout trades. Everybody that's been trading a while, you know that, right? Because, you know, when we draw in that room and we draw these sweet spots and everything, like right here, I'd be drawing this sweet spot. Pretty much something like that. Okay. We may have already missed this trade. I don't know, because you did get a high, a low, but you didn't get a higher high. So, you know, they did check a little lower, but they didn't check here yet. But they have checked there already. See there? So what I'd probably do would be wait for either a thrust. Here's the way I would diagnose this trade. Let's see, Diane says, since you've been getting up earlier, is there any chance of opening the room? Well, Diane, the only thing is on that I also get up early to, you know, kind of get things going, you know, with the company. I've got Skype on and things like that. You know, I even trade and help people and stuff, but I could look at it. You know, the only thing is I don't think that I would have a business partner that would be wanting to open, and that'd pretty much be, you know, me just doing a whole lot of extra work. So I'll give it some thought. Okay. I already opened the room 30 minutes earlier than, you know, anybody even shows up. So I want to make sure that everybody makes money every day. That is my goal. Okay. But I'll give that some thought. All right. So we've got this diagnosed, right? We know that we're going to look for a trade here, or we're going to look for a trade, basically, if we break out. You know, we're not breakout traders, so we're going to have to wait for a little retracement, right? I'd probably want it to come back and check. Okay, that's those little kiss trades. Now we're either going to get this trade or we're going to get this trade. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can do that. Now I showed this in the room, but what I want to teach today is seeing some of these great trades. This is a little earlier than we opened the room. Okay, gold does happen to run, pretty decently at this time. Okay, so these are the trades that we're actually looking for. All right, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this or this. And by the way, this is the way this trade would pan out, right? In other words, if I do pop up above and I pull back and kiss, I want to take the trade. Or if I pull back into this area, but I don't really want to take a breakout trade, because if I do take a breakout trade, let's say that I do something like this and go ahead and take that trade breakout, it could just hit its head right here at 148.30, close the bar, and then come right back down. That's why you've got to get a thrust up and a pullback, or you've got to get the pullback to begin with. Okay. Now, what if this just decided to run? Well, normally they don't just run. They'll do a little consolidation patch. Even if they start breaking up, they might even go sideways in here and then pop up. You can still buy that trade even on a little breakout, especially if they're pushing it. Let's see, with a rising midband, it's a long no-brainer. Absolutely. That's one thing I want to go over too. Ed, I think that's a very good point too. When you look at this chart and you see this midband doing this stair stepping, went flat for a while, didn't it? Stair stepped again. With that rising midband, just like Ed says, that's a no-brainer. That's not, a short type trade. You're looking for a long trade. And that's why I want to teach you. This one trade will make you money. Literally, this one trade will make you plenty of money. Okay. Do I expect this to go down to midband? Not really. I'll tell you why. You've got a high here, you've got a low here, and you didn't close the bar, but they did take out, which is what we kind of call a ratchet. So technically, they should hold this area on any kind of pullback, and predictors saying that also. Okay. And if they do break, then we're going to look for what? Well, we're going to look for a midband trade, but then we have to go back to our secondary swing and say, you know what? If they hold this, then we'll more than likely head up again. Okay, so that's like a little secondary swing, A, B, C. Okay, so this chart's ready to go. Now all we got to do is trade it, right? So you want to see how easy it is to make money if you just diagnose your charts properly and you watch for the type of trades that set up. But you got to have your stop in, obviously. You got to make sure you're protected. Okay, so let's do a predictor trade. And we're only looking at short. Now keep in mind, a predictor is just simply a region, okay, like that. And the bottom side of my region is this right here. So I'm going to do a touch +2, all right. And on this one right here, I'm going to do also a touch +2, because we expect it to come down to that predictor. Or we're going to be watching for this break, pullback, and then take off. And we'll take that one manually more than likely, unless this changes. Okay, so let's see what we get. I'll let it go ahead and play a little bit on about 5 or 6 times normal speed, just so we can see if we can get this. I'll go 10 times. Hopefully we get it. Rising midband. Yeah, absolutely. You want to absolutely watch for that. Now, everybody knows that predictor, until it draws a second one, it's looking for the one that is in front of it. It doesn't matter if it's past it. See, if you look at this chart, this is past this with that bar, but predictor doesn't care. See, that's predictor and the price is outside it. Okay, but it's still looking at this region to fire that trade. Short enabled, short outside, touch +2. There you go. You just got your trade. Now, will it go up a little higher? Very possibly. What I like to personally do is go ahead and get the trade, okay, it looks like we might have missed our gold, but we'll get another one, won't we? We'll get another one. See, we didn't get down to our predictor. That's no big deal. Now, if you wanted to take this trade where it did go ahead and kiss this right here, you certainly could, okay? But if you do, you know, well, it already did it. So see what I was talking about? Thrust up, retrace right into the line. Okay, so we're not going to get this one for a bit, but we still got predictor turned on. We'll just see if it comes down to another predictor. So let's go to our little YM chart. We'll leave this one on too. Watch and see in real time if predictor doesn't draw on this chart. Okay, we've got our little shorty on YM. We want to go ahead and get a target out of the way. We want to get another target down to the bottom. Want to get another target down to a previous little lightning. See it? That's lightning. So that'll get you more profit when you do that. Okay, because you're looking at lightning on this chart. Let me just show you. I'll draw it. Whoop. There you go. All right, see this? If you had like 4 contracts, you'd go target, 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 and then a runner. Okay? I like to look at swings. Now, if they were to decide to keep going up on this, because your power meter is still green, but that's a perfect predictor trade. Okay? Now, until I get some profit in this, at least break the swing right here, I'm not going to move my stop. Okay? Simply because, well, for one thing, I see all the time, if they're going to hold these trends, they won't take out predictor. So I'm going to turn it on exit on close even. Okay, this chart here, let's diagnose it real quick. Let's look and see where this thing is going to hit its head. You want to? By the way, that's not a bad little trade. You want to take it for, let's take it for a quick pop. The reason I'm doing that is because it came perfectly down to support. Everybody see that? But since it's a breakout trade, I'm going to go nice and tight on my stop. Like so. And see, we got a little trade already on that. This is a little bit more of a breakout and pullback. Notice why I took that is because it came right into support and I took it on the bar close. I'd normally just hit market order. Predictor saying right here now. Everybody see that? Still got predictor turned on. We may get another one. If we do, we do. We'll watch for it. We're still okay on this one. Not anything to write home about. I remember this one just kind of went sideways for a little bit yesterday, but you got to trust your trade. And T and B settings do matter. Ed, on your question, the T and B matters a lot because the bottom of the predictor is the B button and the top of the predictor is the T button. For instance, if I want this trade right here, I would simply set long outside, touch plus like 2, and we may even get another predictor draw. We'll find out. See, even though it's outside predictor right now, predictor is busy calculating prices and everything. So if another one shows up, this one does not count. But if another one doesn't show up, this one counts. Okay, more than likely with this outside that price that much, it's going to probably get another predictor. Yeah, see there? There you go. You just got you a trade. Everybody like that little trade like that? Now, what I'd probably do, since I got in that one, would be to turn on my PM and even add. It's up to you on that. So you see where PM is right there? If that closes above that line right there, then it would actually very possibly add us. It's got to close. I don't like that one exactly because I'd rather have it close a little quicker, but we'll see if it closes. We'll take it anyway. Everybody see why that predictor drew there? It was looking at this little pivot right here. That's going to definitely add when it closes that candle. You might not want that one, but, well, it didn't even close the power meter then, it looks like it's going to close it here instead. So I probably wouldn't add here. So we'll turn that, well, we didn't make it, but that's okay. Everybody see that why? Thrust, retrace, thrust. It didn't count this one. I am going to get lightning to where it will look at this trade. Instead of looking to the left, it'll look at the right more predominantly. Okay. Now that's really basically, I'd say probably two of the best trades you can get right there. KISS trades, predictor trades. Okay. Notice that both of those trades did not go down to mid-band. And some of you would miss that trade because it didn't go down to mid-band, but why didn't it go down to mid-band? Anybody? Identified swings, right? Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's get rid of all these lines and let's diagnose this. We'll go ahead and let this run. And by the way, when you get in a trade, I'm going to add the feature that you can get out of this trade. Let's say, for instance, that I've got 6 contracts on, and more than likely I'd go ahead and more than likely like close 3 if this bar doesn't close up to begin with. If it closes up, we'll keep it. That's good enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off on a bar close. We'll take off like 3. Yeah, it already closed, so we'll go ahead and let it ride for a second. Now we'll take off 3 if a bar closes down. That's managing the trade, by the way. Okay, but you can also manage the trade like this too. See this lightning swing right here? We're going to build this particular trail stop into Object Trader. So I can simply turn this on, short. I've got 6 contracts, so I better get out of all of them if that happens, right? And I'll just ride my trade up in the meantime. Okay, but let's go over why this didn't come to mid-band, because this is extremely important and a lot of people miss this. I'm going to draw it manually so you can see it rather than with just lightning. See this thrust up right here? Took out the top, right? Just like we were talking about earlier. It came down and it kissed, right? Right where we said it would. I had the line drawn. But then it ratcheted up. Everybody see that swing's taken out, right? So that is an identified swing. Very important to go with identified swings. I'm going to go ahead and take, that looks like a hanging candle. I don't like that. I'm going to take 3. Well, we took all of them off. That's all right. All right, let me just show you this though. Why did this not go to mid-band? Several people have asked that already. Let's look at it. Just pretend it's happening right now, okay? And even wait for another bar if you want. Now, that swing is identified, okay? So if this is going to continue heading up, this swing cannot be taken out. Everybody sees that, right? Not on what we call the micro trend. Now, if it's going to take out the micro trend, it's going to go down and check even closer to a medium trend. And everybody knows what the medium trend is, right? Let me draw it. Isn't that the medium trend? Low, high, higher low, little higher high, little higher low. See there? Little higher high, right? But our micro trend, it can't take this out. So don't you think it would bounce there instead of mid-band? And the answer is absolutely. Because what's the definition of an uptrend? Higher lows and higher highs, right? So if they were to take this out, then you've got to say, okay, they did ratchet up here, so they shouldn't have done this. Now, what if they had just done 1 bar above here and then came down? Then you can pretty much count this as they will take it out a little bit and then head back up, okay? And this is really important to trading, the amount of ratchet up, okay? This little swing right across here was taken out by at least 5 or 6 ticks, wasn't it? 49.30 to 50, 7 ticks, okay? That is a good ratchet up above this. Now, what if this bar had gone up and then wicked down and closed right on the line instead. It's important to look at your actual bar. Okay, this bar closed up, this bar closed up, this bar closed down, right? So this is telling me when it does that, okay, that if they even take out this support right here, you can get out of that trade if you want to, okay, because that would be like minor. Let's see, did we get in? I didn't really want in another trade. Why did we get in another trade? Why did we get in another trade? I'll protect it. Not sure exactly why we got into that other trade just then. Unless, did we have the PM on just a second ago? I'll have to go back on the video and look at it. But anyway, I want to explain this until it really, really, really makes sense. I did have PM short. Okay, let's go ahead and kill it. PM was short. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, because that's right, because we were going to take the trade off the table, but I already took it off, when I went up there to that top to begin with. When I saw that candle, right? This candle, I think it was. So anyway, if you forget to turn that on, yeah, you got a short because it broke PM. Now, before I go any further, does everybody see what I'm talking about right here? Because this is really, really important. When you'll hear in the room, I'm going to go back in at mid-band. And you see me draw on the chart, and I don't draw it at mid-band. That's because I see these swings in my sleep. A lot of you are starting to see these swings in your sleep, okay? And it's important to see these swings in your sleep, because if this would have just barely gone up and wicked, it could easily come down and take this out. But if that happened, it couldn't take this out, and you would still be in an uptrend until it did. You see what I mean? Doesn't mean you couldn't short, if you got a little consolidation patch under mid-band or whatever. We do that all the time. But when they ratchet up above a swing like that, that's what I call very much identified. And this swing has to hold on a pullback, because the definition of an uptrend is low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Notice that that's actually even higher than that swing by at least a couple of ticks, maybe one tick, but it's still higher. So it qualifies for higher lows and higher highs. All right, now what's it doing? Let's go ahead and look at it. Basically, you've got this thrust up. Well, we'll just go with this for right now, right? You've got this little pull down, right? There's support right here. Okay, but what would it take to change the trend on this chart? Anyone? Right the way I've drawn it right now, what would it take to change the trend on this chart? And again, don't get me wrong, there are areas that you could short, like with PM and things like that. But to me, until it takes out this swing right here on this particular chart, you're still heading up, aren't you? Let's fast forward and see what happened in real time. Because I want to teach you how to see these things. We don't care as much about this right here as we care about getting everybody nicely green every day. All right, let's watch this. That's my low. Now I do have a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low. So technically we're breaking down a little bit, aren't we? But looking to the left to trade the right, I have not taken out that swing. Now let me ask you a question. This little trade we called on Friday. Why did we call this trade on Friday? Anybody see it? Got a low here, high here. Definitely identified swing because it took out this swing with a vengeance, right? So that's what I call my medium swing. Now, when they've broken micro, they're going to go check these medium swings. Now, guess what? If they don't take this out and you get a higher low than this is going back up. If they take this out, then Katie bar the door, we're going to be looking for this type of thing. They break it, we're going to be looking for a thrust, a retrace, right? And then we're going to look for a rollover. Okay? But what you want to be careful doing is, and I want to try to get this home as possible, okay? Because if you stay on the right side of the trade, you're going to do a whole lot better. All right, let's say that somebody says that you want to box. Well, let's just go one step further. Let's go right here. This is real time that you're seeing, okay? So you say, you know what? I'm out of the trade, or I'm not even in it yet. I'm going to box it like this. Okay? And what happens? They got you in, didn't they? Then, if you boxed it the other way, said, you know what? I'm going to flip that. They just flipped you. Okay? But what's the overall trend on this chart? Wait for lightning to quit drawing to the downside. I'll just draw it from even right here. Let's see. We'll draw it from right here. Okay. Now that's a little downtrend on what we call the power meter 1. Okay. And what did this actually do in real time? You had a thrust down, you had a retrace. When this broke this, that's your short if you're an aggressive trader. You see what I mean? Because you're doing the lightning dance down. Thrust, retrace, high or low, right? And then you break. But who wants to short with midband right there? Nobody. Okay? But what I'm saying also is if you box it in, that doesn't necessarily get you a good trade. You got faked there, and you got faked there. Okay? But what is lightning doing on this chart? See there? Okay? That's real time right there. Double bottom. Now, what did we say to do on Friday? We said box this in, didn't we? This is another one of those favorite trades. Now, you know with our new scripts that you box it by hitting insert. This is always turned off. We're only looking for longs until it takes out that line. Okay, and I'm not going to take 6, obviously. We'll just do 3. All right, everybody see that, right? Now, we don't know if this is going to, and matter of fact, I would do it like more like this right here. And if you want to get in the habit of not getting sucked into trades real easily, do this instead. Raise it just a little bit. Well, let's see. Oh, I must have touched that. That's all right. We'll stay with it. Okay. Does everybody see, though, if I was to stay with this trade, that this could easily still come down, but it can't take this out if it's going to head up? So unfortunately, since I got in this trade, I'm going to have to do this now because I've got to protect myself to make sure that they don't take out this medium swing. Okay. Now, I don't like doing that, but there's occasionally times that I've gotten in a trade myself by either getting a little aggressive or whatever it might be. But if this is going to head up, you need a high, you need a low, you need a higher high, retrace, 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 higher low, and off she goes again. Okay. But I want to warn everybody, except at the open of the market, be careful with boxing in trades. Lightning will tell you the direction the trade's going to go. When you have a high, low, lower high, you don't know that's a lower high, right, until it takes out that swing. Then it's a lower high. Okay, you got a lower high when it takes out this swing. All right, then you have a lower high when it takes out this swing, right? So this is technically your swing that you'd really want to take out, right? Because that would say, okay, I'm starting to head up. I've got a low, I've got a high, I've got a same low. So now I'm going to pretty much have to take that out. All right, you could just be in 1 to give an example where I did this. Let's just say we got out of 2 of them. Let's just say we got in 1. Well, when it takes this swing out and comes back and kisses it, guess what? That's probably a trade. That's a kiss trade. And I'll show you a good way to trade that. Let's see if we can actually do it. All right, they're breaking resistance. Not quite, they haven't closed. Not quite, they haven't closed. So let's do this. See that little swing? Okay, they thrust up. If they pull back into there, could that actually be a decent little trade for me? So remember, for every thrust up, they'll usually pull back. They haven't checked that little top, and we'll take it at touch +2. Okay? Because every time they break these little boxes, have you ever noticed they come back and check them? See there? Now, this one thing I want to warn you about with this new touch feature on Object Trader. See how that touched within 2 ticks of that several times? It maxed my contracts. Now, if I would have set that for close instead, it would not do that. Now, I'm working with the programmer right at this time to where we're going to leave a time factor so that this will not do this, because truthfully, that 10 contracts could kill you. Okay? You don't want that. Matter of fact, if I saw that happen, I'd do this right here. Say, you know what? If this thing even closes below that little swing there, I'm going to get out. You know, I might risk 5 ticks with 10 contracts, but that's still $500. Okay? So that's one thing I want to warn you about. With touch, it touched that several times, and we had it set on what, 3 contracts? So it maxed our contracts out. We're going to do it in the future, though, to where when it touches it once, we're going to say, okay, you got to have at least 30 seconds in between the next trade, or a minute or whatever. Okay? Now, that can be a good thing in a way, because let's say that you get in a trade with a close and then it comes back in the box and you turn it back on, you can get in some more contracts, right? So that's a good little thing to have. But whenever you max like that, I would probably just kick this up real quick, watch the bar, and sell some contracts, because 10 contracts is a lot of contracts. Okay, see if that bar even closes down. I'd probably dump at least half of them, and I'd be watching it manually. It'll make you some money, but keep in mind, you know, that with touching around that little region, it can cost you too, because if that was to come down to my break even, I'd be giving up quite a bit of that. Okay, now what does everybody think so far of my favorite trades? Be careful boxing in around mid-band, okay, unless it's at either high energy times, open, and be really careful at the open with NQ. Matter of fact, I almost want to just throw NQ to the side for at least 15 minutes. I think NQ is almost untradeable for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And that's why you don't hear us calling a lot of trades. We say if you're going to do it, scalp it, okay? Because that's ultra important. That one did close up, so we'll stick with it. We'll go ahead and turn on bar close to get rid of 5 if it happens to bar close down. Okay? Do you notice that they always do this? These KISS trades are extremely important. I'm going to show this to you, why I saw this, why you can see it too. It's going to happen continually. You have a thrust, you have a retrace, you break. So what are they going to do? They're going to kiss right where they broke out. Okay? Don't you think they'll more than likely kiss here too? You want to see if they do? They don't always come exactly to it, but they'll come close. All right? Right on top of that swing. Let's see if they do. We'll see if they do. I usually like it if it even comes within like a tick of it, tick or two. And matter of fact, if you wanted to, let's say that you weren't even in a trade at all. If I see something like this and I wanted to grab that, that's my bottom one. I don't want my bottom one. I want that like that. There we go. There you go. See why I took that? Because it came right on top of that previous little swing. Because that's what they do. They thrust, they retrace, they thrust, they retrace. Those KISS type trades are ultra important. Now notice that it hasn't even checked here yet. See this right here? You want to bet that they probably will check it because they checked this one. I hope I've got enough data recorded, but let's just see if they did. I'm going to leave that line right there, and we'll even turn it back on. They haven't checked it yet. There you go. Came close to checking it again, didn't they? There's even another one. See it checking it? So how could a person actually make really good money? You want to see if they'll check that? I got it going too fast now. But look at this right here. You got a swing, thrust, retrace, right? Draw your line. And did they check that exactly? See there? They check these swings. That is absolutely the secret to being the line king. And you know, that's something that everybody can do, because you can see these trades in real time. And when they quit doing exactly what they're doing right now, then basically you're looking for more than likely consolidation and very possibly a trend change even. You want to draw another line, see if they come down and test it. Now this is getting to be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so let's just see. Let's just see if they test it. Right on top of that swing. That's ratcheted, so I'd probably even do that right there. And let's kick our little deal up. See if we can get it. There's predictor even. I think I might miss this one. Yep, that's predictor. I missed that one. Each time they ratchet up, they'll check the previous one. It looks like that's all the information that I had, unfortunately. I'm at the end of the day. All right. Now, I've got about 18 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions about how to see this in real time? KISS trades. KISS trades are absolutely super, super important. What if a trade doesn't get down to mid-band? I just showed why. You've got to make sure that you draw on your charts and you know where they're going, okay? You'll see these swings in real time. Just, you know, I recommend seeing them in your mind rather than drawing lightning on your chart. But you can draw lightning on your chart if you want to also. Now, let's go back. I'm going to bring the data back to like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm going to show you how difficult NQ is to trade, okay, versus the others. Bear with it just a second, it's loading. Bear with it just a second, we're loading the data. And that should be it. Now let's go to NQ. Bear with it just a second, it's loading the NQ. NQ's loaded up, okay? Now this is like 7:10 in the morning right here, my time, okay? Now let's look at this chart and let's see if we can figure out what we would do. It's 7:10 in the morning, right? We're going to see if we can make a trade or so, okay? We've got a predictor, right? Now this is thrust down an awful lot, so what I'm going to do, pretty much, I see resistance right across here, right? I see resistance right across here, okay? But it's already checked that. So it's going to go up and check more like this one here. So this is what I would be doing. Everybody sees that, right? They check this, and they go the opposite direction. You ever notice that? They check the lowest one first, and then they haven't checked this one yet, so they're going to check it. You can almost count on it, okay? You got another one right across here looking to the left to trade the right. So this is my sweet spot right here. Everybody see that? Okay, and this one does happen to be around mid-band. So we're going to actually get ready to take this trade. Let's do it with, let's try Sniper again. I haven't used Sniper in a while. And we're going to hit our green as your top line. So what I'm going to be looking for is a short. And we're going to do a touch +2. And we'll see if we can get it. Now, I don't mind trading this time of morning with NQ. I'll show you how it's a little bit more. You know, if you were up at 5:53, you got this trade, right? But we know where the next trade is, right? Everybody see why I drew that line right there? Do you think that's where your next trade is? Oh, is it blank? Just a second. Just a second. Sorry about that. I leaned against my little deal. Yeah, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. I apologize for that. Everybody see, let me go over it again because you weren't seeing while I was drawing this. So I'm going to draw this first and let you see how I diagnose this chart in real time as trading with lines and kiss trades and things. All right, look at this chart so far. You had a thrust down, you had a retrace, you had a thrust down. Draw your line. Okay? You had a thrust down, you had a retrace, they checked that swing, right? But they haven't checked here yet. Now, most of the time you can count on either they're going to roll over and give us a trade, right? Or we're going to get back up to where they broke down. Okay? So this is the way I personally like to do this. All right, I'll watch this one. If this happens to turn red, I might just go ahead and click at least one contract. But I'm looking for this pullback right here. If you use Sniper, by the way, Sniper, prices that are below a line is the top line. Prices above the line is the bottom line. Okay, so if I was to set this Sniper like, say like this right here, let's say if this was to break down just for the fun of it, if we were to take a breakout trade, then this is the way you would set that. You just hit enter. And why didn't that hit? Oh, I bet I've got another line down here. Nope. That should have turned on this line too. My magenta line, let's see, that's my top line. I've got to have another line below. I'm going to go ahead and kill the lines so we can get rid of it. Be sure if you kill lines on Sniper, you have to also get rid of the little dot by hitting delete. But let's go ahead and do that again. There's our line. That's our green line, right? All right, let's put another line on just in case it does decide to break. And that would be that should be our pink line. Why is that not doing that? So that's actually looking at this one for a short inside, but that should be a magenta line. Let's go ahead and play it and see which one we get, if we get one of them. Now this is what I call a kiss trade. Now does this mean that this trade will absolutely work out? And the answer is no, okay? Because I'm looking at a little breakout trade, or I'm looking at basically a retracement trade. Predictor says right here, my swing is right here. Okay, let's draw another. Well, we won't draw another Sniper line though. Let's see if we can get this trade. Predictor says right here where my cursor's at, and my swing says right there, they haven't checked yet. Should get within two. There we go. We got our regular color lines now. All right, so that should, if it gets within two, should fire even on Sniper. It's not within two yet. And usually what I do is then move that one just in case, because that would be like lightning. But that's also why I designed lightning. You don't have to do this with Sniper anymore. That didn't even get my trade. Why not? That may be because I started this data over and I forgot to start Object Trader over. That is what it is. Remember, I started the data over. Okay, now we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, right? Okay, so let's look and see what this could do. This is actually kind of like what we see in the room all the time. You got a low, you got a high, you got a higher low right under here. Rather than taking a breakout trade though, if they do break, what's our rule, everyone? Anyone? Thrust, retrace. right? You want to see if it'll do it? A kiss trade, absolutely. Now you can do this manually also if you want to. You want to see if it does it? Let's see if it pulls right back into there. I just missed it. See there? It came right to the top of my box too. So I would probably, just in case, because this is still a short background, so I'm going to take profit fairly quickly on this one because my overall is still down. See there? High, low, lower, high, lower, low. A, B, C, D, E. Feel a little bit of heat on that one. That's okay. Support's right here. I was hoping to talk to you a little bit about another one too, and that's Green Stealth. And we've got about 9 minutes left, so I think we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead. Now, if you miss this trade right here, what do you got to do? Anybody? Well, you could take it right here, for instance, because that's a little box. See it right there? And you don't want it to take, whoa, that took me out. So that didn't work. And now, guess what? I'm down $400. So obviously, that was not my smartest move. Okay. What would you do if you had to get that back? Anyone? This is NASDAQ for you. NASDAQ just loves to pull this kind of garbage on you. There's a little trade right there, actually, at Predictor. See if we can get it back. I'm going to just trade it and see if we can get it back. Stops above here. Anybody can get on the wrong side of a trade if you just happen to not get out quick enough, especially going against the trend. Notice how, if you would have boxed this in, this would have creamed you a couple of times to begin with. This looks like we're going to get it back anyway. Our stop, I'd probably move it up just a little bit. I don't like for it just to tag that. I think we'll be okay. Okay, now what if you weren't in a trade at all? Anyone? Kiss trade? Let's say that you said, you know what, I'm just going to take a $210 loss. Or what would you do instead of that? Anyone? How about, just like I've been teaching all morning, you got to get a thrust down. So we're going to look for a thrust down. And we're going to look for a retrace. Now it's already retraced into here. So, that's actually just still a pretty decent little trade, right? So let's say, for instance, you're not in this trade just yet. If it goes above that line and then closes below it like that, I would probably go ahead and jump in the trade. See, it just hit resistance. Everybody see that? That is called a kiss trade. Broke support. You remember the one on YM yesterday that Charles called? It came below support by about 6 or 7 ticks, and then it kissed that line. That's exactly like what I'm drawing right here, actually. Okay. Now, what I'd highly recommend would be to get out of NQ before the open of the market. Okay, let's play this forward and see if we can get that $268 back. I'm going to put my stop just above the swing, like so. And usually when I get in this type of deal, I'll make sure that I at least go down to this bottom. And I'll be willing to give up if it doesn't. That's my swing right there. Okay? And you think that anybody can't get on the wrong side of a trade once in a while? Anybody can. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and put that on exit on close because that's my swing and it held. See it right there? Lightning. Kissed again. How many of you get whipped around by NQ at the open? Anybody? If you do, I'll tell you what, if you'll change your method to kiss trading, I think you'll find it does pretty good. Well, there we got our, whoa, there we go. We got us some coin. Now that's close to the open right there, isn't it? All right. Now, judging by what we're looking at right here, and you're right at the open, do y'all box them in at the mid band? Or do you look for these kiss type trades and see if you can get a trade? Just like what I've been teaching for the last little bit. Let's just go ahead and close this. Let's say that we're trying to get in at the open. All right, I'm going to get rid of all lines so we can see what's going on. All right, so we've got a low, a high, a higher low, and we've got a little higher high, right? So this is that little area that we talk about boxing in at the open. But I'm going to show you what happens to anybody that boxes in at the open a lot of times, okay? If you box this in and you took this trade like right there, you just got taken. See what I mean? Because it came on back down, right? Notice how that just whipped up and right back down. That did that literally that fast in the morning on Friday, okay? Isn't a much smarter trade to wait to see if you can get some kiss trades? I'll draw some lines. That's a little too shallow for me right there. I don't like that one. I want that one. And you can draw it. You can see it. Thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. I'm going to go for that trade right there if I can get it. And I'm going to do it. I've got this going just normal speed. This is in Q moving right now. This is the speed that it moves first thing in the morning. See what I'm doing? I'm waiting for a kiss trade. That's my kiss trade. See it? I just got a kiss trade. Now, will this go ahead and head up? I don't have any idea. But you see what I did? I waited patiently for a kiss trade. Okay? Now, where do you think it's going to kiss again? Well, it already did, actually, because see where it thrust up and pulled back, kissed on top of that line? Those kiss trades are pretty powerful, by the way. They're pretty good trades. Okay? Now, once you get a trend change, which it looks like we're getting, let's just go ahead and play this through. And I'm going to do it like 500 times just real quick, just to show you some things. That's too many people get on the wrong side of a trade because they don't see in real time. Is this a downtrend? Anybody? No, it's not a downtrend, right? It's definitely not a downtrend. But it is downtrending as far as lightning is concerned right now. So let's look at our chart and see if we can figure out where this thing is more than likely going to hit its head. That was a higher low just then, but let's just see. Lightning. There's a predictor. I'll take that predictor. I'll put my stop just under Phantom. Everybody see why I did that? We called that trade in the room on Friday. Does everybody remember it? I said that we hadn't had a Phantom first time in after a trend change, and we actually got that little trade. Now, does that trade just continually just give you all kinds of money? NASDAQ is the world's worst for about the first 15 minutes of taking your stops out if you use swings. That's why you can be up $1,500 and be back down to $1,000 in no time whatsoever with NASDAQ. Okay, now let's look at the same thing we just did because I see another trade. Everybody see that? They hadn't checked it yet. And there we just got a kiss trade. Notice where that predictor drew though. Why did that predictor draw there? Because it sees that kiss trade. I saw the kiss trade without predictor, and I think most people can too, right? So we went over predictor trades, kiss trades, and basically mid-band trades. I think most of you know how to do the mid-band trades because you're looking for those retracements into mid-band. Now I've got this going like 30 times right now, so this is moving pretty quick. Did everybody get something out of this today? How many trades did we go over today? Let's see here. We went over predictor, a little bit on mid-band, the KISS trades, which I absolutely think are just super trades. And Monday night, let's talk about stealth, because I'm here to tell you this stealth trade that we're going to design into Object Trader is more than likely going to make you some money. Okay? Because look at this right here. Could you have gotten in that trade on that bar and gotten a good 30 ticks already? And the answer is yes. All right? But what if you missed that one? This looks like this could easily, got a high, you got a low, you got a higher high. This is your medium swing, and they did take it out. Okay? So you've got a big old stealth like right here. They took stealth out just a little bit. When it goes vacant like this, when I love it the most, because then you're looking for it to show up again, and it did show up again. See it right there? Let's see if that works. I'll go ahead and protect it at mid-band. You could have gotten that trade. And the way I'm going to design this, and the guy's working on it right now as we speak, hopefully, because he was up at 5 o'clock this morning, is that we're going to look at stealth early and a secondary stealth. You could even get in again on that stealth, because we're going to make it to where you can add on to a trade. And I think stealth will be the one we'll talk about on Monday night. And I'm hoping, who knows, maybe we'll actually have a copy of it by then. Because if I could get this little trade done right here, we would then have region, bar close, lightning 1-2, ray, sniper, time trade, wedge, predictor, and stealth. There's a little KISS trade right at mid-band, isn't it? Now, if it gets a higher low, you might flip that trade out. See there? Just got a higher low. You just got you what we call a phantom trade, another trade to the downside. You want to bet? Let's see. Let's just take it. That's a predictor trade. Right at resistance, by the way. That's where it broke down. That's another KISS trade, by the way. All right? So with everything that we've all got in our arsenal, we should be able to continue trading and do quite a nice job on it. Okay? Getting, by the way, you've got more than likely this is going to head back up. See it? You're getting higher lows. So what are we doing, everyone? We're looking for KISS trade, right? You want to see if you can get it? And this will be my final and last. We're going to see if we can get a KISS trade. So we're going to draw on our chart. We got to swing right here. We got to get a thrust up first. Right? Because we just missed that trade just a second ago. So we got to wait for at least a predictor, right? All right, we're going to draw another one. But we've already checked this one technically. Right across here because they checked it there. So let's see if we can get that one. There's predictor. Predictor saying we're getting close. And that pretty much hit that predictor. Now I'd probably, even though we don't know if this is going to head up, I trust these predictors when they first come on like that. And I'll put my stop just underneath it. There you go. Just got you another one. Is that a KISS trade or is that a KISS trade? Did that KISS exactly where we drew the line? And the answer to that is yes. Okay? KISS trades is my favorite trade. Predictor trades, draw the KISS trades lots and lots of times. Don't try to go for mid-band when you see a KISS that's earlier than mid-band. Because how many people would have missed this trade that I just now drew on this chart if they didn't have predictor and they had said, you know what, I'll buy it only if it comes down to mid-band. Well, you missed a 25-tick trade. But did we diagnose it correctly? And the answer is yes. We absolutely diagnosed it correctly. Now, where's our swing on this chart right now? Well, predictor's saying that more than likely right there. See it? See that little swing right there? You want to try it? Let's try it. little lower, but this is our higher low right here. So I could put my stop just under there. That'd be fine. See if that one works. That's a perfect little, and keep in mind, I'm going like 50 times normal speed on this too, so you could get a little bit better entry than I'm getting, but I'm trying to show you that you can trade KISS trades. There we go. Just got another one. Okay. Remember, Viper trading on Monday is about KISS trades. And when you see me drawing the charts, that's where we're looking. Okay. Hope everybody enjoyed this. It was recorded. I'll get it up on the website just here in the next few minutes as soon as it renders. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you get to where you can see exactly like this on your charts, because you can definitely tell if you just simply look at your charts where your next trade is. Okay. And these predictors are pretty darn good at doing it. And you don't have to just, jump in like I was doing there, because, we missed a couple of those, right? But we're trying to go a lot faster too. Okay. But look at that right there. If you were in this trade, where would you put your stop? Let's just pretend you were in from here. Wouldn't your stop just be under there and then very possibly under there? Right? Because when they take out micro, they will go down and check your medium swing. See there? That's why I get out so much better than waiting on this stinking mid-band lightning. Okay? You've got a little trade setting up on this right now, right? Right off the predictor. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, where are we going to hit our head? We've got a high, low, higher, high. So you can't go any lower than that, right? And technically even here. All right, so this is like my little sweet spot right here. And by the way, I could do lightning also. Let's just try this for 10 ticks just for the fun of it. That's good enough. See it? Right on my little KISS line. Thrust, retrace. That was the same high technically, so that's my swing. And just see if we can get 10 ticks. And I'm going to protect this pretty good too. And that's close to getting us. And by the way, if you weren't in this just yet, lightning will change on that green. See there? So you could even get that trade after that. And when you don't have blue sky, just scalp it lots of times. Okay? See if we can get that and we're done. I'll speed it up. There you go. Just got it. Okay. Let's see. How do you get that wild blue lines with the number on it? The number on it, Richard, is in your scripts. You're talking about this blue line right here. This is that indicator that we've got in Object Trader called the HZ lines right here. That's the HZ lines. You just set it to for whatever size text you want on it. And when you draw the line, it actually moves with the prices. Okay. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Believe me, it'll make a big difference in your trading. And once you get a few KISS trades, you don't have to just go footballing this thing around. There's another trade setting up right there, by the way. And when it's footballing around like this, just scalp it. See, like I saw that in plenty of time. If you would have boxed that in, you got your little trade. Now, why would I box that in versus, at the mid band? Because that's lightning. There's a big difference in lightning, because we had a little double bottom. They took it out. You got a 10-tick trade. Everybody see that? Pretty good way to trade. All right, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on Monday. And be sure, if you're losing money on NQ, don't trade it for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Even if you miss a good move, just chalk it up to the fact that you've got to miss some moves occasionally. All right, thanks everyone. And that's about how fast that silly thing moves at the open too. All right, bye everyone, thanks. Touch plus 2 in general, usually, Lee, it depends on the particular trade. Like I say, I can't wait to get this little stealth trader. Because, for instance, if a person was to take this thing I like it on the second one myself because this one sees a scalp. That's a good trade. Everybody see that? That's going to be an amazing little deal, and we're going to be able to choose if we want early stealth or second stealth. All right, thanks everyone. Yeah, Lee, I'll be around. We're going to be leaving here in just a little bit, but I'll be back around this afternoon. I told the programmer I'm going to be here just in case he needs anything. All right, thanks.